Hello everybody and welcome back. First things first, before we get started on this work in progress video, first gotta announce two winners for crate codes. So if your name happens to be Jim Brown or Ninja X Alpaca, please send me an email at the email address listed in the video description, and we'll work out the details. I do have some additional codes to give away as well, so make sure to join my Discord server, discord.gg/ichasegaming. Anyways, let's talk about Harugumo. Wow. First things first, she's a work in progress ship. Anything that I talk about can and potentially will change by the time she hits the live servers. And that's a good thing, because she needs something. She needs work, because in her present state, this ship is awful. Just absolutely awful. In her present state, this ship just doesn't work. She just doesn't have anything going for her. And I need to come up with new words for like terrible, but seriously, this ship there's so many flaws. So let's start with one of them at a time, right? At first, you might look at her HP pool and be like, wow, she's got like 25,000 some odd HP. That's a pretty nice HP pool. Yes, it's a nice HP pool, except the problem is you're not really a destroyer, right? That HP pool is good if you're a destroyer, but you're not a destroyer. This ship is supposed to be an anti-aircraft ship, which is kind of what the Atlanta was for, you know, like destroyer caliber, rapid fire armament on essentially a cruiser hull, and this thing is pretty much that. She's really big. She's like uncomfortably big for a destroyer. That's the first problem. And because she's so big, she's relatively easy to hit. When you get hit by AP, a lot of it tends to be penetration damage. You're going to eat a lot of penetration damage. So the HP goes away really, really quickly. So problem number one, survivability, not that great. Oh, and in case you were like, maybe I should take survivability expert. Well, if you do that, you got to make some sacrifices in other skills, such as maybe giving away some of your fire rate from basic firing training, because you can't actually take all the good skills because you need IFHE, which brings us to our second problem. 100mm guns is barely tolerable when you're tier 8 and you're the Akazuki. At tier 10, they just don't work. The end. If you choose not to take IFHE, there's pretty much no ship you can actually kill with your guns, because every single one of your shells will shatter on everything. Because 100mm guns, you have 16.667, I think, millimeters worth of penetration. Most destroyers at that tier have 19mm plating. So yeah, forget killing battleships, you can't kill the destroyers. So you absolutely must take IFHE. But if you take IFHE, you absolutely have to take Demolition Expert, otherwise you have no real fire chance. The guns are just, like, yes, you have one extra turret, but really, is that actually worth it? You know, one extra turret gives you a bit more shells. You do have pretty good rate of fire, but the amount of targets you can engage comfortably is somewhat limited. And most of the damage is going to come from hitting like superstructure areas as well. So if it's like a cruiser or a battleship, you're going to be aiming for the superstructure, and superstructure saturates really, really quickly, and very quickly your damage kind of drops off quite spectacularly. So yeah, you have good velocity on your guns. Your shells actually have decent velocity, and they're okay up till about, like, you know, 10, 11, 12 kilometers. It's still okay around that range. If you decide to pack like AFT, well, then you start to see much more rainbow arcs. And she's not a Khabarovsk. Like, make no mistake, this ship is not a Khabarovsk. Anyhow, going back to what I was saying initially, so you figure a ship like this, that is in the sort of form of an Atlanta, you know, destroyer caliber guns, meant for anti-aircraft roles, is going to have defensive fire. No. No, you don't. Keep dreaming. You don't have access to defensive fire. So if you ever get caught out by a carrier, good luck, because to a carrier, you're basically a not very maneuverable cruiser with no DFAA that they can pick on, and your A is kind of pathetic too. Fantastic. Wow, what does she have going for her? She has a set of 6 sextuple? God, I can't even... Okay, she has a set of 6 torpedoes in one launcher. And she has a torpedo reload booster. So you can dump out like 12 torpedoes every so often. But with a sextuple launcher, the reload time is pretty damn long. And as it is a single launcher, the torpedoes also, well, they do tend to spread out a little bit as well, shall we say. And they're good torpedoes, 12-kilometer range, they do good damage. But, yeah, you just don't use them all that much. Because if you're going to be like, let's compare torpedo boats, there are far better torpedo boats in the game. And, yeah, Harugumo, the torpedoes is more like, you know, if I get a chance, I'll use them, do some damage. You know, most of what the ship is about should be the guns, but like the guns are kind of bad. All right, so yeah, at least the torpedoes is tolerable. Oh, by the way, I also mentioned that she's a huge ship. Your engine gets knocked out constantly, like engine, rudder. This ship seems to just take a hit somewhere in the middle and engine out. Take a hit somewhere into the back, rudders out, all the time. Just issues, just many issues. But so far, hey, at least the single set of torpedoes with the torpedo reload booster is somewhat usable. Yeah, that's like the only thing we got going for us so far. Okay, so yeah, her AA is also not very strong. Kind of mentioned that, like she was meant to be an AA ship, but her AA was pretty awful. Cool. Finally, we come to other big issues with this ship. She has not the highest speed. She's okay, like 37, I think, knots with the flag. She's okay speed-wise. And then you look at her turning circle radius. And then you look at the fact that her turning circle radius is 830 meters. Here is officially a destroyer that gets jealous at battleship turning radiuses. Because the Conqueror turns in 820 meters. Oh, this ship. Oh, man. Yeah, I literally cannot figure out what exactly the purpose of this ship is supposed to be. She can't be an AA ship. She, as a gunfire support ship, she's not exactly all that great either, because the Khabarovsk can do that job better, and the Khabarovsk is definitely more threat. She can't be a torpedo boat, because, you know, Gearings and Shimas can do that job much better than her. Not really sure what the purpose of the ship is, actually, to be honest. Yeah, she just doesn't really seem to have much of a role. Her concealment is alright, but not exactly anything that will allow her to become, let's say, a really great destroyer hunter either, because 6.2 means that Shimas and all those ships, they will spot you before you spot them. Yeah. Not really sure what the ship is supposed to be. Doesn't do anything really all that well. Like, let's be honest, she just doesn't do anything all that well. And that isn't good. So I would definitely think this ship is something that is going to have some, I think and I hope, some pretty substantial changes, because so far nothing about this ship works. Right? It's like, maybe if they were trying to say, alright, let's make this like a ultra light cruiser line with no citadel. Well, if you're gonna go in that direction, then at least give her things like DFAA, give her maybe a heal, so at least she can play that role, right? If you're wanting her to be more of a, I don't know, destroyer hunter or something like that, I don't know, maybe make her a little bit more nimble, a little bit faster, has a little bit more ability to get closer, I don't know if that's the role you want, then you gotta give her some tools for that role. But so far right now, the ship has no role. Oh wait, hold on. Correction. She does have one role. It's called shell shock effect. You just sling so many shells at enemy ships, you make them think that they're under attack by something really, really substantial, and you scare the crap out of them. That's all you can really do, because the chance of you doing lots of damage to them is pretty low. Like, I think I had like one game, or was it? Yeah, I think one game, and I think it was this one, where I was able to be like, yeah, I broke 100k, and the majority of the damage came from those torpedo hits, by the way. Yeah. Pretty sad boat. Pretty pathetic. Like Harugumo, good lord. And if this ship is as bad and she's got the 5 turrets, think about what Kitakaze is like, right? That's tier 9. Yikes. Yeah, the Japanese, these ships, unless they get changed big time and something gets, you know, makes them sort of stand out from the other ones, they're pretty much, if they stay in their current form, they're pretty much dead on arrival. They need something to make them have their own kind of role. It's the same thing for Akazuki if you really think about it. Like, Akazuki was an A destroyer, really should have had like DFAA. That would have at least given her some kind of role purpose in the larger scheme of things. Right now, Akazuki's more just like, lol. You know, Harukaze, I think, is a much better destroyer if we're going to compare destroyers, right? If with the same 100mm guns. But yeah, no. Just, this Harugumo is just all sorts of awful. And I think right now, cross your fingers and hope for the best. Oh, did I mention that she's really big and really just like eats shots easily? Her AP, by the way, at close ranges does work, especially if somebody would give you a broadside like a battleship or a cruiser. If you go with armor piercing, you actually can do some damage. Yeah, I needed to shoot a little bit further back there. But you know, once your AP starts hitting home, you can actually do some damage. But you're a huge ship, and you do take penetration damage, like, well, okay. That's the end of that. This ship, my goodness. Yeah. Anyways, there we go. Final results screen, like 273 hits, 4 torpedo hits, which is where most of my damage came from. 128k damage total. Ugh. Just, yeah, not all that amazing. Did manage to help the team do some capturing, but we still ended up losing because, you know, it is the weekend after all. Top of the team, 1,181 base experience. Alright, let's take a look at the detailed report so I can show you sort of where the damage came from and why the guns are just so poor. Take a look at that. I mean, Jesus, 32,000 only from the HE. Fires did something. Most of the damage came from torpedoes, but like I said, with 12 torpedoes that you can use at a very slow pace, it's not really a torpedo boat, right? So, just overall really poor ship, and, well, I mean, it is a loss, so didn't earn that much credits. 93,000 with premium. Had I been without premium, would have lost 16k. Anyways, what do you think? Are you impressed? Totally not impressed, which you should be, by the Harugumo. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below, aside from all that. Oh, by the way, yeah, don't forget to join the Discord server. Gonna have a bit more codes I gotta give away. So, you know, I'm gonna be doing the giveaway bot or whatever and do that. Alright, folks, take care. Have yourselves a good weekend. I'll talk to all of you again later.